Hi everyone, and welcome to. Thanks for joining me tonight, wherever you are, whether it's in the morning or during the daytime. Thank you so much for joining me for this T20 Stars July Q&A. I want to thank everyone so much for their continued support, from all the amazing feedback that I'm continuing to get for T20 Stars, with my podcasts, my blogs, my video blogs as well, and just everyone's continued love and support that everyone continues to give me. Hello to everyone who's out there. There's a lot of people that are joining in right now, so I'll get through to be able to answer some of your questions. So as well, so if you've got any questions, just go down to the question box down the bottom and ask them, and I'll get to a few as well. So yeah, all right. I just want to say how excited I am that the IPL's been locked in now. The 19th of September it starts. I'm very excited. There's going to be some cricket on, getting back to a bit of normality of everyone playing some cricket. It's been great to be able to watch the Test series between the West Indies and England getting back on. So yeah, I can't wait to be able to get back into IPL. Someone's Naman asked if I'm going to be bowling in this IPL. No, my body can't take it at the moment anymore. So I'm just going to be batting. So hopefully, I'll be doing everything I can in my preparation and lead up to be able to try and score some runs for CSK. I'm super excited to be able to get back with the Chennai Super Kings again. They are a great franchise with a lot of great people there. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to be able to get back and join the great Stephen Fleming, to be able to work under him again. Ms Dhoni, it's going to be great to be able to work under him again as well, and all the other great players as well. We're very fortunate at CSK, so I'm excited to get over to the UAE. And look, my heart goes out to everyone it's a challenging time at the moment in the world, and it continues to sort of go from, through different various waves, like even here in Australia, the people down in Melbourne and Victoria is, it's going through a tough time. So, my heart goes out to everyone, and I hope everyone's going as well as they can, navigating their way around. But hopefully, the IPL will provide a bit of joy for everyone to be able to watch. So I can't wait to get into it. I've had a lot of really good questions that will come in. That's come in over the last couple of weeks that I'll get to answer as many as I can. And again, if you've got a question, just send it through. I'll try and get through as many as I possibly can. And all your very kind comments that everyone's putting up here. It is very sweet. The love and support that I continue to get. It's quite overwhelming. So thank you. Okay. As I start, I just want to mention a special mention to Mukund Dada, for your incredibly kind email that you sent me a couple of days ago. Very sweet and incredibly heartfelt. I really do appreciate your very kind love and support, and I really am so grateful for the feedback that you're giving me from my podcast, Lessons Learned with the Greats, and the impact that the feedback that you give me for the impact that it's having on you. I absolutely love doing my podcast and getting everyone the inside knowledge from these great players who have played the game. So I hope everyone's really enjoying them as well. But yeah, Mukund, I really appreciate your beautiful email that you sent me. I'll get into the first question. One of the first questions one of the questions that I've got, and it comes from Muhammad Ahmed, and he's been an amazing supporter of me, and also of T20 Stars. And his question is, how do I keep myself fit and healthy for a match? So look, right now I'm working through a long pre-season now, so it's going to be a build up now, knowing there's an starting point for the 19th of September. So, I'm getting into my running. I've started batting this week. And the one thing that I'm going to be doing as well in the lead up to the first game, and then even during the IPL as well, I'm just going to do like a weekly video blog, just to let people know about what I'm doing, the things that I'm putting together. Because being just a T20 player, it's a different challenge than when I was playing international cricket and you sort of come in and out of playing against the world's best players. to then go into playing against the world's best players on the IPL, whereas now I sort of go in and out of playing from tournament to tournament. So I'm going to document my weekly diary that I go through, and how fitness, skills, and then everything else around it as well. So I hope everyone enjoys that. And the other question that Mohammed had was, what hard work does he need to do to become a high quality all-rounder? And look, the one thing that I know deep down is, one, I just wanted to be the best cricketer that I possibly could be. So that's the best fielder, the best bowler, and the best batsman. So I want to be the best fast bowler I could be. So I just did everything I could at training. It was really nearly double everyone else, especially from a batting and bowling perspective, because I needed to put the hard work in to develop my skills. So it takes a lot of time, a lot of hard work, especially managing your body as well. So you need to look after your body as well, because you're pushing it to the limit. So that was one question. I might go just into one of the questions that someone's got for me. Someone's asked, what is my age? I'm not sure. I'm 39. I'm getting older now for a cricketer. But I'm still absolutely loving my training. Another one that I've got is from Harsh, which how did I feel playing under Ms Dhoni and to be around him? And there's no question that he is one of my favourite players I've ever played under. Ice cool, calm and collected, no matter what the situation is. So it is very special to play under him, and I'm super excited to play under him again. And just one more question is, how's my practice going here in Australia? So I've just started batting this week. I went to club training for the Sutherland Sharks on Tuesday night, just to be able to get back into batting again, knowing that there's an end point for the tournament, the IPL starting. So yeah, it felt a bit foreign to get back into batting and hitting some balls, but then I had another hit today with one of my mates who's throwing me balls just down at the sort of local net. So getting back into it, which I'm excited about. So I suppose it's like getting back on the bike again, which is awesome. Someone here, Divi G, has said, who gave me my nickname Watto? I'm not sure. I think it's just Watson. People just naturally call me Watto. Another one of my nicknames has been was Will up until my first few years in Tasmania, and then for my mid-20s was Will, because there's a New Zealand cricketer called Willie Watson. So a number of my older mates sort of do call me Will. So thanks for your question. Now I'll go on to Halima Ahmed. She has been an incredible supporter of mine for a long time, and Halima has put together the Waterholics, the fan club, the Shane Watson fan club. I am so grateful for your love and support. It really does mean a lot. And she sent in a couple of great questions, and I can't forget to mention as well Ureshi, who's really helped Halima be able to put together the support that you do give me. So a couple of questions that Halima has been curious about is, what is my favourite book that I've read? Because I do absolutely love reading. I read all the time because I'm always trying to learn, and now I've sort of moved on to business books and that sort of thing. My favourite book that I've read recently is called E-Myth, and it's just about building a business and the processes and systems that you've got to try and put in place. And it's by Michael Gerber, and what he talks about is that you're trying to build your business so you get it so at a stage where you're working on your business, not in it. So you're not just the only person that's reliant to work at T20 Stars is me right now, and of course it's always going to be me having significant input. But at times it's going to be people helping me as well. So which is exciting. Halima also asked me about what I love to eat, and one of my favourite cuisines is Japanese, just because it's so fresh and light. I actually cooked sushi tonight for my family and me. I love sushi, so got the rice and got the rice wine vinegar and sugar, a little bit of sugar and salt, and sort of cooked the rice up, and had my son Will loves cooked tuna rolls, so I just put cooked tuna in a roll and rolled it up. And my daughter has cucumber, but also She loves a buri salmon, and a buri salmon is like you get a blowtorch, like a food blowtorch that you can blow and burn the top and cook the top of the sushi. So my daughter loves that, and my wife and I, Lee and I, have salmon and avocado, fresh salmon and avocado. So sushi, I do love Indian food, just the flavors, and also like the vegetarian Indian food as well. I absolutely love, because there's so much flavor. Whereas vegetarian food here in Australia, and I'm not vegetarian, but I do love I do love vegetarian food. But the flavors in that in India are just absolutely phenomenal. And the other cuisine that I love, which I tried when I was in Pakistan for the PSL, was Afghani food. Their flavors in there, the charcoal and the food that they cook is just absolutely amazing. So that's what I love to eat, and also cook. I love cook, as I mentioned, cooking sushi. And Halima also asked what I do in my spare time. And right now, throughout COVID, there's been a lot of time at home with myself and my family. So spare time, I love spending it with my family, my kids and my growing kids and my wife. We do have a lot of fun. My son Will is a cricket tragic now since the last IPL with CSK. He absolutely loves it. So playing cricket with him and inside. My daughter loves playing, Matilda loves playing, I play dolls with her, but also she loves painting and arts and crafts. So we do that together. And the other things I love doing is spending time growing my T20 stars, getting the podcasts interviews done with all these incredible greats who've been so kind to give me their time and insights to everyone who listens. And one more question from Halima is, what movies do I enjoy? And look, recently I've watched a documentary called The Last Dance about Michael Jordan, and that was phenomenal to get the insights into Michael Jordan, how he's driven, how he drove everyone else around him in his organisation to be able to be the best so consistently. So that was fascinating to be able to watch. And also a Lance Armstrong documentary that came in after a week or so after that as well, which was pretty confronting, just how honest he was. So, okay, I've got it. Just mention there about Steve Smith, a word on Steve Smith. Steve Smith, I've been so fortunate to know him since he was 18 or 19. He plays in my club team at the Sutherland Sharks as well. Well, I play at his because he started before me at Sutherland. But I've been able to get to know him incredibly well, and he's a genuinely good guy. Obviously, he's just developed his skill incredibly well. And the thing for me with Steve Smith that stands out to me is he's developed his own technique. He's developed what has worked for him. He didn't have coaches just turning him into a prototype of a certain batting technique. He worked out exactly what was going to work for him, and just does that and has just evolved it to a point where he just knows what works technically, and then mentally his routines and that he just nails it. So that for me is something that stands out, and it's a lesson to every cricketer and every batsman, especially, and bowler as well. You got your own technique. You just got to find what works for you, and then once you get it, then you stick with it and continue to evolve it slightly, not become a prototype of being someone else. Be the best version of yourself. So that's what I absolutely love about Steve Smith. Okay, I'll go into a couple more questions. Thank you for sending all these questions in. Gosh, it's going to take me a bit of time. God, I'm going to be here for a couple of hours, but to be able to get through. I've got one question here from, is it Tiz Rishbi Rishab? Is Dhoni playing for CSK this year? And there's a lot of those, the same question. Look, I think he is, and I hope he is, because he's an amazing player, he's an amazing leader. I really do. I'm really excited about playing with him, so I really hope that he does play, because I do really enjoy. Everyone loves playing with him. So gosh, there's quite a few questions of the same one. So thanks for sending that question in. I've got from is it Arnav 17? What's my favourite Indian food? My favourite Indian food, I'd have to say paneer, like paneer, and the flavoured, even masala paneer, and just the flavours that come with something really simple as cottage cheese is absolutely beautiful. So I do love that. There's no question about that. From Dash, cricket who do I love the most on the field? Cricket in India or cricket in Australia? That's a good question. I've absolutely always loved coming and playing in India and playing against India. They're always an incredibly challenging team, whether in any, especially in Indian conditions, but in any conditions. And I've always found it. I've just loved playing against in India in any format. And playing in Australia, of course, is where I've grown up, so I know the Australian conditions inside out. So I do love playing in Australia as well. But just the fanfare and the love of cricket in India is something that just absolutely blows me away. Like it is in Sri Lanka, like it is in Pakistan as well. The love of the game, everyone just loves it. Loves it so much. Whereas in Australia, there's a lot of people who absolutely love cricket. There's no question, but it's definitely not majority of the population. It's a good chunk of the population. Whereas in India and through the subcontinent, it is everyone. So Kathy has asked me, could we see you playing at least for the next 3 years? Please do not retire. Look, you're very sweet and kind to be able to say that. Look, I'm not exactly sure much longer I'm going to play for. Maybe it might be 3 years. I'm not sure. I still absolutely love playing. I love playing. I love being on the field. I love practicing like I batted my batting today. To be able to even practice batting is just something that I just love. I still love so much. So while I still love it and I feel like I can be at my best and contribute in the teams I'm playing in, I'll keep playing for a while. It also makes it even more special that my son is cricket obsessed. He watches it non-stop. He wants to meet all the Aussie players and the players because he's just massive fans of them. So that makes it, I suppose, even more special for me to continue to play. But who knows? And Ronald Jensen's, are you ready for IPL 2020? Well, yeah, I will be. Absolutely. There's still a couple of months before it starts. I'll be doing everything I possibly can, heading over pretty early for a CSK camp. And yeah, I'll be ready to hit the ground running. Majority of people, apart from really probably the guys who are going to be playing in England, the international series there, most cricketers are coming off a significant break because of everything that's been happening around the world. So everyone will sort of be on a similar playing field in that regard. So look, thanks. I'll get through to a few more questions as well. So keep sending them in at the question box down the bottom. I'll move on to a question that got sent in to me via my email. And again, if you've got any questions you want to ask, please send them in to and I'll try and get through as many as I possibly can in next month's Q&A. Go send it to the email info@t20stars.com. So go send all your questions there, or keep putting your questions in the comment section or in the question section here. So I've got a question from Gunjan Dasmana, that's it. He wanted to ask what my favourite moment is in playing cricket is. And there's no question my favourite moment was the 2015 World Cup at home. To be able to be on the field when Steve Smith hit the winning runs, that was the most special moment in my career. Throughout the whole World Cup was very special as well apart from getting dropped and then coming back, that wasn't so special. But anyway, such is life. But yeah, to be on the field as Steve Smith hit the winning runs, that is easily the most special moment that I've had on a cricket field. And I wish that. I've had a lot of incredible moments on the cricket field, but that was one that I wish I could have paused and just stayed in that for forever, really. So that was a great question. The other question that Gunjan's asked is, if I wasn't a cricketer, what would I be? What would I have been? That's a tough question because I've always loved and I always wanted to be a cricketer. A professional cricketer. I wanted to play cricket for Australia. I didn't put all my eggs in one basket either. Mum and Dad definitely would never have let me do that, and I would never recommend that everyone, no matter what, even if you want to be an international cricketer, you have to make sure you got something to fall back on. So I studied incredibly hard, and I went to uni full time for a year. And the course that I studied at university for the year that I was there full time was business and human movements. I had no idea what I wanted to do, so that was my way of being able to hedge my bets in a way. But I didn't really know what I wanted to do apart from try and be the best cricketer I possibly could be. So look, Thanks for everyone who continues to comment. I just had a question. How much do you love your wife? Yeah, as much as I love my kids, of course. I've been very fortunate to meet an incredible life partner with Lee, my wife. So yeah, and my beautiful kids. So I'm very fortunate, and when to navigate your way through different parts of life, it's always, if you're fortunate enough to be able to try and find a partner, it's a life partner. It's very special. Okay, I've got a question from Talab, aka William. What do I think about Pakistan and my experiences of playing in Pakistan? And I've always really enjoyed playing against Pakistan. It wasn't until the last couple of years where I've had the chance to be able to go and play in Pakistan itself. But always enjoyed my battles that I had with Pakistan on the cricket field. One of the very special moments I had in my career, even though at the time it wasn't as enjoyable. But I look back at that time was the quarterfinal against Pakistan with Wahab Riaz going absolutely great, bouncing the living daylights out of me and bowled super accurate. So he just kept bouncing me. I didn't very silly of me and naive of me. I didn't realise that Wahab Riaz could bowl that fast. So yeah, I said something to him. I said, because he kept playing and missing at Mitchell Stark. So I sort of ran across. I ended up going into the slips, running across because he kept playing and missing. So I ran past him and said, have you got a hole in your back? Because he just kept missing the ball. And yeah, again, I didn't realise he could bowl that fast. So once I got out there, I got absolutely peppered. And so I shouldn't have been such a smart aleck. Anyway, so I look back at that moment. That was a very special moment to be a part of, even though it was super uncomfortable. He got on top of me. I got dropped a fine leg, but worked out really well in the end. But to be able to then play in Pakistan and travel around to different parts of Pakistan this time was really special. It is a beautiful country. It's sadly it's had its challenges in the past for security for international teams and everyone to go there. But I've always I've loved it. The Quetta Gladiators is a very enjoyable team. I love the franchise. So Viv's the mentor there. So to be able to be in the same team as Viv Richards is just the absolute ultimate. So that's very special. I'll go into a few more questions that people have written in. Like, gosh, it's it's so kind of you all to be able to write all these questions. I wish I could get through all of them. I really do. Okay, someone's Aaron Dixit, 2004, has said, "Am I playing Premier Cricket for Sutherland this year?" Yes, I will be. After the IPL finishes, in the lead up to in between all the tournaments that I'm playing, I'll definitely be playing grade cricket for sure for the Sharkies. There's a question here. What is my opinion on Dave Warner? And it's incredibly. I get that question actually asked a lot. Is what are my thoughts on Dave Warner? What's David Warner like as a guy? And he is the thing that people don't. People see glimpses of it, but he is one of the most hands-on, incredibly good dads that you'll ever see in your life. He's always in and around the team, and obviously everyone sees it off the field. People can see it off the field as well. He's a great dad. He's a great husband, and that's really means he loves his family. So, and he is an incredible cricketer. There's no question. Gosh, in all formats of the game, and I've always really enjoyed playing with him. He's a good guy. Look, everyone's got their own challenges. Gosh, I've got my challenges that people would say that I've got different idiosyncrasies that some people like, some people don't, and that's part of just in the end being comfortable in your own skin. But Dave Warner definitely is one of my favourite cricketers I play with. Is misunderstood because he's there to be able to just be the best he possibly can be, and as everyone he's an incredible dad, and that's for me that's one of the ultimate sort of marks as a person is how well you treat your family especially, and he certainly is amazing. Okay, a couple more questions that people have sent in. What happened to my leg during the IPL final? From Kyati Sharma. So Yeah, what happened to my to my leg? It's absolutely perfectly fine now. But what happened to my leg in that game? There was, I think it might have been the third or fourth over. It was a dodgy call that I made, and I ended up having to dive into the crease. And the wicket in Hyderabad was hard and very abrasive, and there must have been like a couple of pieces of the pitch that was sort of on the side of the wicket where I dived, and it must have just sliced, like cut my knee open. But normally I dive and you feel that sort of part of your leg, because that must just be my technique that I dive. I feel that I graze my knee there. So I had no idea anything was nothing. Like I just thought I'd grazed my knee. That was all. And it wasn't until actually I got out and ran myself out again in the last over, where I stuffed the game up right at the end of the last over by running myself out. That's when I thought I actually hurt my knee. Diving again, trying to dive for my ground, and that was when I actually thought I'd hurt it. But it wasn't until the next day when my wife, Lee, had said, I think I looked back at just a couple of the highlights or a couple of shots. It looked like you had a bit of bleeding even before it. So yeah, in the end, it must have been the third or fourth over when it happened. But I got looked after very well by the doctors at the ground, and had no problems at all. There's a question here that's just come up from Vermov151 about who's the best captain that I've played with. I've done a video blog on the T20 Stars on my website, which is t20stars.com, but it's also on YouTube as well, on the T20 Stars YouTube channel, and talking about my 5 favourite captains that I've played under. And I'll go into more detail, but I've been so incredibly fortunate to play with some of the best captains that's played the game. So Ricky Ponting was my captain for a big part of my career with Australia. Shane Warne was my captain at Rajasthan Royals, which is, gosh, he's just tactically a genius and a great man manager. Then Rahul Dravid, played with him, which was just one of the most genuinely kind people you'll ever meet. If you want to really understand Rahul Dravid, listen to the podcast episode Lessons Learned with the Greats with Rahul Dravid. Everyone will realise, and I'm sure everyone does anyway, but he's just a genuinely amazingly kind, sweet guy. And even something as simple as the thing that inspired him when he was playing was the net bowlers, the people who would come to bowl to him, that he realised that they wouldn't, probably a good chance they wouldn't get the same opportunities that he did. And that's what inspired him to never take it for granted, which is just, that's a quality of the person. Then Virat Kohli, I love playing for at RCB, just to be able to see his intensity, his will to win, and then how he pulled everyone with him as well was just phenomenal. And then off the field, he's just seriously good guy as well. And the last one was Ms Dhoni. Dhoni, just the ultimate leader. He just knows how to treat these people. Everyone loves playing under him. Very cool, calm and collected. So, yep, Dhoni as well. Okay, I'll go to Dipti Rangjaran. Hope I've said that right. What is my best memory of Lee, my wife, and my kids? And I have to say my favourite memory, which is actually just recently, was we all went down to Melbourne for the bushfire charity game. And that was a time where, because I hadn't, that was when my son Will was really into cricket. It was a time where I brought my family down as well, reconnecting with the guys some of the guys I hadn't seen for a while, to be able to play in a game around with like Matt Hayden and Justin Langer and Ricky Ponting and Andrew Simons. Those guys are like, just to be able to play with them, like was Macram played, Brian Lara, was just so like incredible. To be able to bring back such good memories that we had on the field. Brett Lee played as well, was one of my most special memories with my family, no question. To see after the game, we went back to the hotel and seeing like my kids running around with Ricky Ponting's kids, Andrew Simon's kids, was just, it was really, really special. So I have to say that was one of my most special times with my family. Another one was who was my inspiration behind starting T20 Stars? So for me, T20 Stars, it was all about passing on my knowledge that I've been so fortunate about to gain from being around so many of the greatest cricketers that has been the world's ever seen. And I want to pass on that knowledge to everyone. So you don't actually have to be as lucky as I've been to be able to play and be around some of the greatest cricketers that there's ever been. I'm going to be giving you all that information. So however long it's going to continue on because I'm going to continue to give as much information as I possibly can. So every cricket lover, budding cricketer who wants to just get the best out of themselves, I'm going to be giving you every single thing that I know. And have been educated around from all the greatest players a lot of the greatest players that have been around that I've been fortunate enough to play with. So that was my inspiration behind T20 Stars. And what was the inspiration that got me into cricket? And it was my dad. My dad is a tragic cricket lover. He's always loved the game of cricket. So I just remember growing up as a kid, just sitting there watching the test matches with him. So, it was just, and it's continued on. I've been very fortunate, the love and support that my mum and dad and my sister have given me. So, that was my favourite. The reason why I started T20 Stars and also what got me into cricket. So, Dipti, thanks so much for your question. There's a couple of questions here. One was, who was my favourite Indian player? That's a tough question. There's a lot. Playing against... Look, Virat Kohli is my favourite to watch across all formats. To be able to see the way he bats across all formats, just his desire every single game to beat his best. Which when I watched The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, that sort of was for me just like playing with Virat Kohli in a way that every day they trained. Every day they went and played, it was always, they put it on the line every single time. And that's the thing that blows me away with Virat Kohli. And I absolutely love about Virat. His desire to be his best all the time. And then how he's able to manage that off the field as well with all his time, his endorsements and everything that he's got as well as being a really good person, which he is. So, and having his downtime with his wife and his friends is something very, very special. So, Virat is my favourite right now. My all-time favourites that I'm being fortunate to play with is MS Dhoni. There's no question. I found him fascinating to play against. He hardly ever said a word to me. Playing against India for so many times, it was more so just after the game. It's a good game, and that was it. But you knew everyone loved playing with him. Everyone. Loved playing under him, and I loved watching him play. He was just phenomenal. Not great to bowl to, because he used to smash me everywhere, but it was, he's very special. So I'll go into a couple more questions. Right here. Okay. One question from 45 Hitman. Hopefully you're not Hitman. Is who would you choose, Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma? Gosh, both are amazing players. I just mentioned about Virat, how he's my favourite player, but Rohit Sharma is just so incredibly gifted. How he hits the balls with so much ease against all types of bowling in all conditions is, he's a genius with what he's able to do. He's been continuing to do it for such a long period of time. Mumbai Indians have been so lucky to have him as a leader and also as a player for a long period of time. A couple more questions I'll try and go through. What do we got? I think someone asked me, where am I right now? So right now I'm in Sydney at home. Things here are okay. With everything's sort of still open at the moment, but restrictions are coming in because there's been increased cases of COVID in Victoria, so they've been shut down. So it's I've been very fortunate to be here at the moment with the way things are being looked after. But it is, it's challenging for everyone. There's no question. My heart goes out to everyone who's trying to navigate, their way around through this unprecedented situation that is in the world. That's why for me, I'm really excited about to get back into playing cricket. For me, for everyone, all the cricketers, but also for the people who love watching cricket as well, especially in India and the subcontinent, who they get to be able to watch, even though I'm not sure. I don't think there's going to be fans in the grounds and that in the IE. But for people to be able to watch the games, to get back into a bit of normality, because there's not much normality going on at the moment with everything that's going on. So again, my heart goes out to everyone. I hope everyone's really taking care of themselves, doing everything they can to look after themselves, their families, and the community around them. Because we want to, we've got to pull together to be able to, get through as well as we can. So, okay, I'll go into just one more question, and then for the night. There's a mention here of Abe De Villiers. Thanks for mentioning Abe De Villiers. Gosh, how incredible is Abe De Villiers? He's just he's the sweetest guy you could ever meet in your life. He's just a genuinely incredibly good guy. On the field, off the field, everything. As a cricketer, he's just so gifted. As a batsman, whether it's in a test match, if he needs to defend for a whole day and not score a run and just block the ball, he can do it. He's got the skill to be able to do that. If he needs to go out, like you see in T20 cricket, and get 50 off 10 balls, he's got the shots and the game to be able to do it off the world's best bowlers. Abe De Villiers just is absolutely, everyone dreams of being Abe De Villiers, really. It's as simple as that. And, I can't wait to be able to see him out in action for RCB. Hopefully not, well, there's a good chance to score runs because against CSK because he score runs just about everywhere. So, so Abe De Villiers, thanks for whoever mentioned Abe De Villiers there. He's one of my all-time favourite players that I've played with. So fortunate at RCB to be able to play with and get to know him. But just Abe De Villiers as a player, oh my gosh, to think that you can do the stuff that he does against the world's best bowlers, against spin, against quicks, against everything is just, it's mind blowing. So the longer, I hope he plays forever. AB, if you're out there and you hear this, please, mate, I want you to play forever. You're the king. So I just want to let people know who are listening, and I'm going to finish up soon, but what's up next for T20 Stars. And again, thank you so much for everyone who's joined me and through, and your comments and your questions and everything that people have contributed tonight. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to have my next Q&A Instagram live, which will be next August. In August, end of August. So I'll be doing that again. So please do send your questions in before, or like you have tonight, and putting your questions in down the bottom. But with T20 Stars, what's coming up? My next podcast episode for Lessons Learned with the Greats comes out tomorrow, and it's with one guy who gave me true inspiration where I grew up. I grew up in Ipswich in Queensland, a smaller town just outside of Brisbane. But Craig McDermott was the cricketer that came out of Ipswich, who played for Australia, was a dominant fast bowler, world-class fast bowler. So he gave me the inspiration as a young kid. He played all the same cricket that I played. Then he went to the same high school, Ipswich Grammar School, as I did as well. So he was a real inspiration for me. So his insights, if any budding fast bowler, his insights into bowling and the fitness and everything around is required to be a great fast bowler, or the best fast bowler he can be. You got to listen to this podcast. But also his experiences around business. He's the most understands business more than anyone I ever played with. He's been through the highs and lows of business as well, and his insights are absolutely phenomenal. So definitely don't miss that episode of Lessons Learned with the Greats, which is coming out tomorrow. Next week I'm going to be uploading a blog around 2 life skills that I believe are missing in our education system throughout everyone's teenage years, and that is mental skills, because that's a really important life skill that's not taught very often at all at school. And the other one is financial understanding, financial literacy, financial understanding about how to make the most of what you've got, whatever that is. So that's going to be the next blog that's coming out next week. And again, I mentioned at the start that I'm going to be doing a weekly video diary on my preparation in the lead up to the IPL starting, just so people can get an understanding of the steps that I'm going through to be able to hit the 19th of September at my peak. So fingers crossed. I'll be doing everything I can anyway. So again, finally, if anyone's got any questions that you want to ask me in this Q&A session, please send your questions through to info@t20stars.com, and I'll get through as many questions as I possibly can. Thanks so much for everyone who continued to put your questions up, your comments. I love doing this. Hope people have got a lot out of this. And finally, I hope everyone's taking care of themselves. It's a really challenging time in the world. I never thought I'd experience something like this that's going on in the world right now. But please do take care of yourselves, your family, and everyone around you, because it's a really important time for the whole community to look after each other, to be able to get through this as well as we possibly can. So look, thanks so much for people who've taken the time to be able to join me tonight on Instagram Live, and I look forward to doing it next month. Take care, everyone, and good night.